Hey guys, this is Ravedge here. This is going to be the second video of the two-part series on Intro to Monk, gearing, and talents and glyphs. The first video, which is going to be actually in the description below, I'll put a link in there, that's going to be the video that covered the talents and glyphs. So if that's the video you're looking for, go ahead and just bounce over there and watch that video and I'll get you started there. This video will be covering gear, gem, reforging, and the big one-handed to two-hander debate. Alright, let's go ahead and jump right in it. For gear, you're going to want the main set of Iron Skin. The other one's meant for healing. This is the one you want, plain and simple. Now for the gear, I'm going to go over left to right what piece I picked, and I'll later explain why I picked it. The neck piece I went for was the Necklace of Proficiency. Cloak was Gladiator's Cape of Cruelty. Bracers, I went for Arm Wraps of Accuracy. Belt, Waistband of Cruelty. Boots, Boots of Alacrity. And then for rings you have Cruelty and Accuracy. Now as a stat priority for a monk, you're going to want hit to 3%, and then crit is your most important stat after that. Some people argue haste because of energy regen and that can improve more damage output, etc. Which, yes, for raiding it is, but for PvP you're not always on your target. So haste is not, you don't have enough uptime on your target for haste to affect your damage and increase it that much. So I run crit for the fact that, okay, when I do get to my target, I want to crit so I can do more damage into him. Because if I get peeled again within a couple seconds, it's not going to be good. Because if I didn't crit, I barely did any damage. If I crit, it was more of a threat to him. So 3% crit, as much expertise as possible. I stack a lot of expertise. I am sitting at 9.31 expertise right now. I would try and get more if possible. The reason I have so much expertise is because since we are such a heavy melee class, we require to not be dodged or parried. Like, the more that we're dodged and parried, our damage completely goes down. It's really bad in a sense. Like, you get dodged on a Rising Sun kick when something only had 30k health left. You're going to want to pull your hair out because you know you could have killed that target. So I stack as much expertise as possible with enchants and reforging. Now I'm going to go ahead and cover the reforging and explain why I did this. Every single piece I try and have crit and expertise on. So whatever the other stat is, other than hit, I reforge out of. So if it has mastery and expertise, I'm going to reforge the mastery and put that towards crit. If it has crit and haste, I'm going to reforge haste to expertise. If it has crit and hit, and I'm above hit cap, I will reforge out of the hit, but do not go below that 3% hit chance. When you have 3%, you will not miss any of your special spells, like as in using any special attacks. You might white hit miss, but your Rising Sun kicks won't miss or anything like that. So you definitely want to have the 3% hit and don't lose that. So everything else you want to reforge towards expertise. Haste, mastery, you want to reforge towards expertise. And then vice versa. If you have expertise and mastery, mastery towards crit. Or expertise and haste, haste towards crit. You want those two stats on everything once you have the 3% hit cap. Now I'm going to go ahead and cover the gemming because it needs a little bit of a breakdown, etc. Or just explanation in a sense. For gemming, I go pure PvP power. That's the thing I stack. PvP power is the best stat in the game for PvP. It improves your damage, your healing, and on you and other people. So, as it being a hybrid class, where I have healing ability and damage, it's a double win-win for you. It's perfect. With my PvP power right now, I have 33% PvP power, which is kind of high from some people I've heard. And the reason I do is now I'm going to be constantly in every BG arena. I do 33% more damage to other people and 33% more healing. And that includes healing to myself. So I heal myself for more and I do more damage. Now agility gems or whatnot, you would gain more damage too, but you're not going to gain the healing and the percent damage increase like this. This is the best stat to stack right now. That might change, but if it does, I will regem accordingly. I will cover what gem I use for each color. I go for the socket bonus because you gain as well better stats as you get more agility or PvP power or resilience. So that's why I gem for the actual socket bonus. For blue gems, I use Perfect Stormy. The blue gem, it's 320 PvP power. I go for the Perfect Stormy ones because, or the perfect gem, quote quote, because it's cheaper most of the time in the AH. Whatever's gonna be the cheaper, go for that. So that's the blue sockets. For red, I use Assassin's Imperial. Though that's got 80 agility, 160 PvP power, and that still meets the socket bonus. For yellow, I use Perfect Vivid. It's got 160 PvP power and 160 PvP resilience. Resilience reduces your damage taken, and then the PvP power increases your damage. So this is just what I believe to be the best yellow socket for you to get. So that covers the red, blue, and yellow sockets. For meta gem, obviously use the Agile Primal Diamond. It's 216 agility and 3% increased critical damage. So when you crit, you do 3% more damage. That's just the easiest way to go with it. Now for the big debate. One-handers versus two-hander. I have used both, guys. I've done numerous hours of testing in BGs, arenas. They both are pretty much neck and neck. There is no clear winner yet. I haven't seen. If you guys have some kind of video or something that goes in depth about it, please link it. Let me know. I would love to have a clear answer for it, and I wish I could give you a 100% answer. The reason I use one-handers, though, is because double Windsong is one of the big parts, and I tend to actually have more sustained, better damage, it seems like, with one-handers. Like, I will switch targets, and I will be doing pretty good damage with one-handers, and two-handers sometimes I feel like I'm lacking. It's your play style right now, whatever you like. I like the one-handers, and it works for me, so I use the one-handers. The big thing I do like, though, is double Windsong proc. Windsong will give you, either 1500 haste, mastery, or crit. I literally have had 3 of the buffs up before while damaging sometimes, so I've never seen that with the two-hander, so more buff up time in a sense also is one definite thing. I like one-handers better, so I use one-handers. If you can't get your hand on one-handers, I know dungeons can be cruel. You might not get it, or have a rogue who needs on it as well, which that's just But two-hander to one-hander, if you can get your hand on a two-hander, whether it's the polearm or the staff, go ahead and pick up the staff or the polearm until you get the one-handers, or whatever you test out what you like. Whatever you like, that's what you should use. It's a lot of this game is broken down to playstyle or what you prefer. So that's the unfortunately all I can really cover on the one-handed to two-handed debate. I like one-handers better, and from what I've seen, people are saying it is better sustained damage by a very, very small amount. So I say my personal preference, go ahead and shoot for the one-handers, guys. If you don't like it, go for two-handers. Well, this is actually going to conclude the second video for the Intro to Monk guide for stats, etc., gearing, and how to play as in cooldown and spell priority is going to be my video next week. I'm going to hopefully record that with some PvP footage to back up my reasonings for a certain spell priority and give it a really in-depth breakdown. That might be broken up into 2 parts as well, but I want to get that video out for you guys as soon as possible. I want people to understand what I think is the best for my current state of my monk and share what I got for you guys. Hopefully it's something that'll help you guys out, whether it's arena or BGs or just better understanding of your monks. So this is Ravedge once again, guys. If you enjoyed the video, toss me a like, favorite, subscribe so you can keep up to date on what I'm posting out there. And feel free, comment below, let me know what you want to see. More BGs, arenas, commentary, more guides, whatever. I'm open. This is an open channel for me right now. I just want to see what the community feedback would be like. So go ahead and let me know, guys. Thanks once again for watching. This is Ravedge. Have fun in the BGs.